I think I ask too many questions. I know I'll never understand how to help all those around me. I am just one man. There's so many who feel helpless, that there's just too much to be done. But I know it makes all the difference. The revolution has begun. If I can help just one, help just
The value of the peer conference is that it gets peers from all over the state of Ohio together to discuss the things that are important not only to peers, but specific to peers in their areas. I mean, for example, being a peer is not a one-size-fits-all endeavor. So being a peer in Columbus, Ohio means something different than being a peer in rural Ohio. And we need to be aware of those differences so that we don't accidentally lead people astray and not take into account things like where we live, what resources are available, or even our own cultural or social economic diversities. So it gets us all together to discuss those things and hash them out, and I feel that it makes me a more complete advocate.
And so that's why this conference was called Professionalizing the Workforce. We need to have a formal structure. We need to do a better job of being educated and trained on all the issues that folks with mental illness or substance use disorder have.
I think it's important for peers to come together and learn from each other. I think the peer perspective is always going to be different than the clinical perspective, just like the student's perspective is going to be different from the teacher's or professor's perspective. And there are certain things that people, that people can learn from. That's the networking opportunities. But there's also the opportunity to, hear in lectures and pick up new concepts and skills and kind of the whole idea of what different kinds of approaches to advocacy, different ways of organizing groups or dealing with issues within organizations. There's a whole raft of skills that people need to do peer support work depending on what setting they're in.
It's been neat to work with them and learn from them. It's not only me just sharing my story, but hearing other people, it helps me. So
it helps us to be able to network with each other and learn from other experiences other people have had, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to run across the same experience that they've had. I can learn from their experience, listen to them.
But I think this conference has opened a lot of doors for me, and I think for a lot of other people, by the presenters that has come in. And I'm doing a lot of training. There's a lot of training being offered all over the state, all over the different cities and different groups. And I think we just have to take it and run with it. It's like a relay. It's like a relay in here. We taking the baton, passing it on. We got instructors that's passing on the different batons in here, from trauma-informed care, wellness, so much.
They're all very good. They make it really clear, easy to understand, and it's always very interesting to listen to. And of course, I usually pick stuff that either applies to me personally and also a mixture of stuff that may apply to people that I work with.
What I wanted to gain, I've had a lot of training, and it doesn't matter how much training you have, you can learn more, pick up more, and that's what I wanted. I took all the things that would help me with what I do, and one of my favorite parts of the conferences are the speakers in the beginning, before we break up into our breakout sessions. They're amazing, and the two that were here yesterday and today, amazing.
The encouragement that I've gotten here is just amazing. I'm already asking questions about the next one. I text people back home like, hey, You need to be at the next one. Like, I don't know what your schedule looks like, but there's one coming up in September, there's one in October. Which one are you trying to go to? But we need to be there because it's forever changing, it's forever growing. And, you know, in order to be an effective peer supporter, you got to grow with it.
I want peers to walk away from this conference with a thirst for more information, more knowledge. A lot of times our peer recovery supporters aren't provided opportunities to go out to trainings. Specifically, if they work with a lot of clinicians, providers send the clinicians out. We ask providers to please send the peer recovery supporters out. We want peer recovery supporters to start being accountable for their own professional development because it's really important. Now that we have a professional certification, we really need folks to kind of step up their game.
There's lots of resources out there and we can help connect them to those resources. So I'm still kind of working on that one. You know, I'm still trying to, that's one of the reasons I wanted to come here. I wanted the training, plus I wanted to be able to start networking and find it out, you know, who can I connect up with, who can I, you know, send them to and talk to and all that, and who can I connect to that I could get info from, say, hey, what do you do when you do the, so that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Oh, I've gained a lot. You know, learning how to be able to tell my story and, you know, the sexual assault. And after hearing Sharon talk about that and then getting in that trauma-informed care, that's where I want to be. I'm going to really, you know, look at that and help others.
It's exciting to be able to, you know, finally fit. You know, in a world where you kind of feel like you're all over the place, to have the ability to finally feel like you belong. You know, it's an amazing feeling.